Good morning, good morning. Hello world. Welcome to the Paint with Pete studio and another Monday morning Paint with Pete session. Hope everyone's doing okay and you all had a nice little weekend. Today is Doodle Day, so every Monday we do some doodling in the Paint with Pete studio. Today I want to do something a little bit different. We're going to do our doodle practice as usual. We'll do our heart practice in our doodles. So if you're not that comfortable with drawing hearts and stuff, perfect session. We're just going to get some hearts drawn up, and then I'm going to draw a new character that I'm inventing. So I'm working with a group called the Wingers. That is a project based around bird boxes in Chorlton. So I've been asked to come up with a bird, design a bird, customise it obviously, and give him his own kind of, living quarters and stuff and a little backstory. So I've chosen a jackdaw. They're kind of like they're part of the crow family, so slightly smaller than crows. But I want to kind of mix it with a famous character. This guy, Mr. Feathers McGraw, we'll go into that in a minute. So if you want to take a couple of minutes, maybe just get something to draw. If you can see a plant or like a book or something, or anything, even yourself. I'm going to be drawing from a photo today, but I'm going to be drawing a bird today. We are going to stay with the doodle rules and techniques of just kind of going through the shape and then building those shapes up, and again using our eye to look at a picture and then our brain to translate that into our own drawing. There are a few different things that I want to add to him to make him very much an obsolete jackdaw. He's going to be called Jackdaw McGraw. That might give you a little clue, but we'll go into that in a minute. I've got some announcements to make, so again, if you want to take 2 minutes, grab yourself some pens and some pencils, maybe some paper if you can as well. That would be amazing. I mean, drawing the walls, if they're your walls, please get permission if you are drawing on anything apart from paper. Thank you. Okay, pen, pencil, paper. Again, I've just got a couple of announcements that I want to make. Say good morning to a few people, all of that good stuff. Okay, so yesterday or last night, I released my Valentine's Day cards. So here they are. And here they are. So I've got square ones and rectangle ones. There are 3 basic designs. I use the squares. So we've got 2 hearts. These are all in gold leaf as well. Hopefully you can see that glinting a little bit. I love this stuff, absolutely love this stuff. 2 hearts. We have the love rune. And we also have I love you. I've switched that one up a little bit on the rectangles, so it's vertical. There we are, there's the 2 I love yous. So if you want a hand-drawn, these are all hand-drawn. I haven't done a whole batch of them and I'm just waiting for orders at all. I'm going to do them each individually. These are the samples. So if you want them personalised as well, I will offer a kind of personalisation service. All you have to do is put the details in the checkout part of my website. That's houseobsolete.bigcartel.com. All the links are in my socials. I put them all up last night, so they should be all over the place. Please have a look, and again, if you're looking for a one-off hand-drawn Valentine's Day card for your lover, friend, whoever you want to send it to, whether it's a secret or not so secret Valentine's Day card, there we are. So I've got love rune, the 2 hearts, and I love you in icons. Right, so there we are. Please have a look at my website for them. Thank you to everybody who's already ordered some. I had a nice little flurry last night, so thank you for everyone who's got in early. All your cards, whoever ordered yesterday, will be going out later today. So you should have them hopefully by tomorrow, if not latest Wednesday. I believe the last day we can send them is Thursday, if not Friday morning. So we've still got 5 days. If you do want to grab an hand-drawn obsolete Valentine's Day card, give me a shout. Amazing work. Okay, so also today's t-shirt is have a word. I'm going to try and start Mondays with a bit of like every day, with a bit of positivity. But I live on my own. If you live on your own as well, and you kind of starting to feel a little bit lonely, a little bit lonesome, and you kind of want somebody or something to watch that's going to make you feel like you're not on your own, honestly, have a word. Hilarious. Two amazing comedians. Shouts to Dan Nightingale, king of the Frog and Bucket, literally the compare without compare. Dan Nightingale and Adam Rowe, amazing comedian, absolutely hilarious. A bit of a silly bugger, but who isn't? So if you're looking for something to watch and just something to like have a laugh, get your spirits back, why not try out Have a Word podcast, right? I also want to shout out Sounds Like as well. So Shuffle Tea off of Don't Flop, shouts to Adam Woolard. Please check out Sounds Like podcast on YouTube and Facebook. They basically do a podcast all about rhyme. So if you like words, or you're a rapper, or you're a singer, or you just like a bit of a quiz, check out Have a Word podcast, and Sounds Like. One's just pure comedy, one's all about rhyme with loads of comedy. There we are, that's my shouts. Thank you very much. I hope everyone by now has got a pencil and a pen. I have my pencil somewhere. Where is he? Here he is. My Keith Haring. Let's say some good mornings. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Ethan. How are you doing? Sup? And Mrs. Barton as well, obviously. Shouts to Mr. Barton. Obviously as well. Just for the record, Mr. Jack McGraw is dedicated to Mr. Barton. So I'm just going to explain this again. So today is Doodles. I'm on a project. I would like to bring some of my projects into the Paint with Pete's. This project, I'm on a team called the Wingers. We're basically designing bird boxes, but we're designing the bird, the story behind the bird, and the kind of bird box. It doesn't have to be a normal bird box. So I've based mine on this fella, this little cheeky number. He is a penguin. He is not a jackdaw. So his name is Feathers McGraw. He is the baddie in Wallace and Gromit: The Wrong Trousers. He ends up stealing a diamond, so he's a diamond thief. So I want to use that. I love the character. I love how simple he is. Obviously he's made out of clay, but obviously very easy to draw. So I want to use that as the baseline, as the background for my character. So the character I've come up with is a jackdaw. So he's called Jackdaw McGraw. So he is Feathers McGraw. He is his cousin. I want him to be a vigilante. So he's on the hunt for his cousin. He's always trying to get back to his cousin and try and find him. And he lives in Regent's Park, just opposite Sherlock Holmes on 221B Baker Street. So he's going to be a bit of a vigilante jackdaw hunting his cousin, who's a diamond thief. And he's going to live in a top hat. So that's my story and background and bird creation. So I'm going to draw today, I'm going to try and draw Jackdaw McGraw in my style. Obviously we're going to use this picture as a kind of basis. I've also got a very simple kind of head detail. Again, I'm not copying. First and foremost, I'm not tracing. I'm not directly copying. I'm using these pictures, much like the portraits, as a basis for our drawings, all right? That is absolutely fine. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. So basically, I'm using this as the basic outline and the shapes of the bird, because I don't draw birds. The only birds I've drawn ever have been pigeons. Shouts to Hipster Pigeon, the magazine, and Mr. Conor Peplow for the collab. Amazing work. So I've only ever drawn pigeons before. Today, a jackdaw. So we need to warm our hands up though, don't we? So let's do some warm-up exercises. We'll get some tunes on as well. Yeah, he is also a chicken in shouts to Rev Austin. In Wallace and Gromit, he puts a rubber glove on his head and everyone thinks he's a chicken. So again, a master, absolute master of disguise. There we go. Okay, so warm-up exercises. Let's get our hands nice and warm before we get some tunes on. It's Monday morning. Happy Mondays, everybody. Hope you're having a good week so far. Let's get our hands warm. So what I'm going to do, shake them out a little bit. Again, every day, Wing Chun exercises. So hold your hands flat, push them out, lift them up, turn them in on themselves, and then push away nice and gently. So you're just kind of doing that as a flat, up, in, out, push, up, in, out, push. Okay, I'll get your wrist nice and warm. A little bit of pushing palm, why not? And then stretching. So stretch all the way up, and then grip. Stretch all the way up, grip, stretch all the way up, nice and warm. There we are. Oof. Hands get nice and warm. Okay, I'm going to use my black marker. We're going to get some music on. while we are just doodling. So we're going to do heart practice. It is Valentine's Day. You just see my hearts. My hearts look like this. I have practiced a lot drawing hearts. You can draw millions of them whenever you like. So we're going to draw some more hearts. We did some last Monday as well. I think it's just really good practice just to get us loose, get us breaking our page, which is very difficult for confidence and stuff sometimes. So let's get some. My iTunes is just loading up. So we've got our little A3 sheet. I've got a big A2 here for our final. But to practice, I just want to practice on something a little bit smaller that we can fill. And there we go. Okay, cool. Let's get some tunes on. Yes, yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so again, hearts, we can do them two different ways. One is the question mark way, one is the one line, okay? So the question mark way is just two backward question mark and then a backwards question mark. So I'll do it nice and big here. Question mark, question mark. We'll do that again. You can be as expressive and as cursive, as curly as you want. So one more. Again, doesn't matter if one side's bigger or anything, this is just doodling. So one more question mark, why not? We'll do one up here. So again, you can see that question mark coming in, and all you're doing is copying it, flipping it. The single line version, I always start in the middle or at the bottom. So 1, 2, link up preferably. Let's go from the bottom. And again, I just want to see a nice big sheet full of hearts. All right, there we are. Let's do some bigger ones. I find that the single line versions are a lot more organic. They kind of just happen, whereas the you can decide a little bit more with your question marks. So from the bottom, from the bottom, from the bottom, from the middle. I find that it changes depending on how much space I've got to play with. So if you're getting a little bit of a tight spot and you want to make sure that you're being accurate, then you can. So say here, be a lot more calm, a lot more slow on the question mark technique. But I don't like working slow, so let's go nice and big. Again, upside down, just for different angles, just so you've got like the curves and the lines. Those hearts will hide themselves, where you can kind of see it even if you can't define one specific heart. If anyone's feeling adventurous and wanting to get the paints out, this is a really good technique with a paintbrush as well. Obviously there is drying time to compensate with as well, but we can just keep going until we've got a nice little border around the edge here. There we are. Okay, there's a lot of spare lines in here, or straight lines that I don't like, that are just clear on their own. So again, I'm just looking for where there's a bit of a space. There we go. Okay, maybe a couple more just because I'm being picky. It might look like a big mess of lines. Exactly correct. You are supposed to be loosening up a little bit. I've got no kind of reservations about where I'm going with these. I've just used the page to create my own border. And that, my friends, can now go into our colour day tomorrow. I've got a couple of other ideas for the colour day. We'll do that after at the end of the show. But nice, just black heart, black line hearts, nice and simple. Gives a really good camo. Again, if you have some plain wrapping paper, exactly the same at Christmas, with snowflakes or snowmen or Santa hats, you can customise your own wrapping paper So if you are buying something for your lover, friend, however you want to call it, for Valentine's Day, you can customize it and make it a little bit more yours by adding these hearts onto the wrapping paper. You can draw the card. We can do loads of different stuff. I will say there is, I'll mention it just in brew time as well, but on Thursday, we've got 2 Paint with Pete's on Thursday. One in the morning with me on Obsolete Formats MCR, and one with Most Wanted Wines on Instagram Live, Instagram TV, at 8 o'clock till 9. This is one of the ideas that we'll be bringing through and developing. So if you want a double dose of Paint with Pete on Thursday, congratulations. Amazing work. Okay, so he can go next to our Jackdaws. I'm going to move my little page up. So I've got the little guy. Again, because we are doing a kind of, not a finish, I mean, I don't want to say finished drawing, but in theory there is a purpose for it. It does have a context, it does have a purpose and a reason for why we're drawing it. So I don't want, the sketches and the lines that I'm going to do now are going to be very free. Right, I'm going to basically just break this bird up into shape. I could even do that. Shall we do that? I can in theory just show you in white actually over the top of that. Yeah, we'll do that. So the best way of always drawing, especially if you're feeling like it's beating you a little bit, or you can't get, if you can't get the actual shape or the accuracy like bang on every time, it's exactly the same with the lettering. So like it's certainly in the previous, we're in our 4th week by the way, wow. So for the past 3 weeks in the lettering workshops, I've been trying to incentivize you, trying to kind of make you think that about letters as shapes instead of seeing them as letters, because your brain will tell you if it's wrong. We don't really, sometimes you need your brain to tell you it's wrong, sometimes you don't want that in your head. So certainly when I'm doing a window, for example, I do everything backwards on the inside, and every second that I'm doing it, my brain is telling me that it's backwards. Oh, that letter's backwards, that word is wrong. It's not, it's because I've chosen to do it backwards. So I have to really force myself to break that letter into a shape. Like really just go, it's just a sausage G or something. It's not a letter, you're not wrong, you're drawing it right, because I'm obviously doing it backwards. So everything's reversed. Much like with drawing, if you can break everything up into a shape and then work on those areas, exactly the same as the portraits, where we break our areas up, we break our eyes, break our head up into 5 to create our eye sockets and the space for our eyes, and then we fill those details in, and it ends up being a face. So it's that kind of technique that I'm kind of pushing here, where we're breaking it up into shapes. And so I can see a triangle, so a triangle here, kind of diamond, a semicircle here, we've got a big oval here, and then we've got another couple of little ovals. Right, you probably can't see that, I'll do it in black instead. So we've got a triangle here, it's like a weird diamond. We've got a semicircle here, we've got a big oval for the body, and then we've got a nice long rectangle and almost another triangle, obviously legs as well. But this is me telling myself as well. Again, I haven't drawn birds specifically like this before. I've drawn pigeons, but they've just been kind of freestyle. So again, I need to break it up into different shapes. So I've seen this kind of diamond, the pointy beak, kind of like a rhombus or a diamond into his eye, a semicircle head, a big oval for his body, a kind of weird rectangle rhombus, and then an extra triangle for his feathers and his wings. So we're going to go off that. I'm going to basically draw those shapes back in, and we're going to try and get, it'll be a sketchy version, I'm aware of that, but I'm going to try and do that in pen. I will do my final one in pencil, but again, I'd just like to show you guys how I would approach this in this technique. Okay. So Jackdaw, McGraw is his name. If anybody has any suggestions for what Jack can be wearing or doing, I really want him in like a balaclava, but I think something like a bandito mask, so he's hiding, so he's a vigilante, he's like Daredevil or Batman, Superman doesn't wear a mask, like Batman, where he's got a mask on, so you don't know who he is. Jackdaws have white eyes. They're kind of not perfectly white eyes, but unlike crows that have black eyes, they've got a kind of almost that solo polo vision again, like the Hitcher. So I want to capitalise on his eye. So anything that goes round his eye, so we can do like a bandit hat, like a Fantastic Mr. Fox bandit hat, or a bandana, or a top hat, or a bowler hat. He is a little bit of a detective, so he's kind of on the hunt for his cousin, who is Feathers. So any ideas that I can add to my drawing of Jackdaw McGraw, please give me a shout, alright? I might give him a monocle, I might even give him a deerstalker for the Sherlock Holmes reference. That's up to you, give me a shout if anyone has any ideas. Do not hesitate. Okay, so we've got our wrist nice and warm. I'm basically just going to try and copy these shapes where they sit on my smaller sheet of paper. Okay, so we've got this kind of semicircle. We've got our diamond. That semicircle's a bit big, I think. There's our semicircle. We've got our diamond, roughly, that goes in there. Yep, maybe a bit wider. Okay, and then we've got this weird kind of square. Our sheet's not big enough, I'm going to turn him round. I got really excited and started drawing big. It's fine. It's good practice when it's big. You can get loads more detail in it. But again, for practice, I just want to make sure we're getting the shapes right. So I've started approaching the small sheet like it's a big sheet. Let's get those shapes in, nice and practiced on here. So. Yep, sort of. Again, I'm going to probably go over my lines a few times. That's all right. Okay, so he's a little bit slimmer than that, isn't he? So we've got this like cut off, a bit shallower. Yeah, but then the beak is more like there. That's better. Already better ratio just from practicing. So we've got this wing as well. You can see this wing here, but it's all under the body. So he's turned, I think he's looking a bit more straight, isn't he? It's flatter, he's not looking up. Okay, and then we've got his legs. Oh no. A little bit better, and again, we can see this ratio coming in. Okay, and then a little bit of his colour. So he's got a very dark bit around his eye, and he's almost got like a eyeliner on, so we can pretend. His beak, again, that beak is amazing. Again, just looking at my picture, constantly checking back on my drawing. And moving on. Okay. So again, you can see that I'm not really being precious about my lines. These are still technically doodle lines. I'm just being very, very loose, very, very quick with my marker pen. You know, the kind of overall shape's coming in here, so we could probably make him a little bit more real. He's a bit slimmer than my guy, that's all right. you can see that the shape is pretty much there. I'm just going to go around the shape. So again, just from that little bit of sketch practice, we can see that we've got the rough, you know, those just, I went around the outline just to show you that the shapes that we practiced on are just about right, okay? It might take a little bit of time to get that right, but again, I want to kind of make sure that we are still in the doodle mindset. So again, even though we are drawing from a photo, I am eventually going to turn it into a kind of cartoon version of this. So any of these like specific details about fur or feathers or the beak detail or anything, they will be a lot less, but again, like we know in all cartoons, we can actually add tiny bits of detail, much like the face, that will make it, you know, will make it recognisable as a jackdaw, as a bird, etc. Okay, so we're going to practice that a little bit more, just a little bit. And again, I want to just make sure that I've got like some of the details in the face here, so you can see where the this is obviously a drawing just off the internet. I don't know who the artist is. Really nice drawing. Again, I'm not copying. This is just seeing a close-up of how someone else has approached the drawing. So again, we've got that kind of eye makeup. We've got the hard nose, beak. We've got a kind of shorter neck, and again that kind of like softer head than my full semicircle head. So there we are. Again, really nice feather detail and stuff. I like this, but again, we want it to be our own. I can change pens. I can get a thinner black if we wanted for those details. All right. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try this guy, and I'm just going to draw him here. Good. Good, so that ratio is instantly better. I'm already enjoying, or like recognizing what I need to do. So again, that head shape is immediately is nearer the original bird. Yep, good. Okay, cool. And then that's the ridge for his nose. Yeah, good. Okay, I'll go around that in black in a minute. I know my sketch pad is already getting a bit messy. That's what I want. So he's actually sitting quite nicely. I prefer this face. Again, all we're doing is just spotting these shapes come in. Could even do it with a big pen if I wanted, because it's there for us. Instantly looking a lot more like a jackdaw just from putting the colour or the black into where his eye is. Cool. There we are. You can see that coming through, hopefully. There we go. So again, this face a lot nearer jackdaw. You know, we can worry about details and stuff later. I don't even know if he needs a mask because of his eye, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So there's the head, and we've kind of got it about right. So the shape's there, he's there. Okay, cool. Let's have a time check. Oh, it's brew time. Jackdaw McGraw loves to draw. He does. He does. Any rhymes with Jackdaw McGraw, please follow Austin in the rhyme pattern. So Jackdaw McGraw loves to draw, eats seeds off the floor, and always wants more. Any little rhyming pattern will suggest ideas for the character for me. So he's a bit greedy, he likes eating loads of seeds and stuff. That's really cool. And he loves to draw, obviously. Okay, it's probably 10 seconds away from brew time. So again, halfway through the show, we will always have a little break. Let's have a 2-minute instead of a 5-minute today. If there's anybody who has any suggestions for our celebrity face on Thursday, give me a shout. Please give me a shout, anyone you want. Also, I need descriptive words for developing our font that we're developing together for Wednesday. And I'd like some photos as well. So if you're drawing with me, if you're drawing anything this morning, please give us a shout, take some photos and stuff. I realise I am kind of catering it to something a bit more specific, but again, having these kind of doodle sessions that have a little bit of purpose in them will always help that professionalism and decision making in pens, what paper you're using, all that sort of stuff, alright? It's very important. I love this kind of stuff. I especially love doodling like this, but again, the other part of the obsolete formula is the actual the drawing and creating the characters into stuff, or turning drawings into characters via things like what they're wearing, what they're doing, what their job is, if there's a rap, if there's any bars about them. Absolutely amazing. There we are. And again, any more rhymes with Jackdaw McGraw? His name is Jackdaw McGraw, or he will be in about 20 minutes. So yeah, any more bars or lyrics or anything, give us a shout. Love that, Austin. Okay, so I will also say, grab yourself some water, grab yourself some fruit. If you do need to stick your head out the window for 2 minutes, please get yourself some fresh air. Make sure you're coming back to the session nice and revived. I've just had a coffee, you might be able to tell. So I'm going to grab some water now, and then we can hydrate. Cheers, everybody. Okay, one more time, just so everybody is fully aware. I am doing one-off, hand-drawn Valentine's Day cards this week. So if anyone wants one, £2.50 each. I have already included the postage and packaging, so there's no extra bonus money or shipping costs or anything. So you will get a card that's hand-drawn by myself. Gold leaf, that is, beautiful stuff. There we are. You can customise these, so you can add some details to the card in the order on the website. There we are. Please give us a shout as well. So if you know anyone who's looking for a Valentine's Day card and you want something from a local artist that's completely hand-drawn, I will say everything on the cards will differ ever so slightly just because I am hand-drawing them. So there might be a difference in the shape, some of the lines might be slightly different, and obviously I'm writing the messages inside as well. Inside says to Happy Valentine's Day from. Again, they will change ever so slightly because it is just me doing every single one, okay? Thank you very much. Lovely stuff. I'm kind of keen to get some shape in my bird, so while everyone is just chilling, I'll just shout my socials out and then we're going to get back onto Jackdaw McGraw. Okay, hello, I am Pete Obsolete. You can find me everywhere. Let's be friends. My name is Pete Obsolete on Facebook and Obsolete Formats MCR, also on Facebook. On Instagram, I am Pete Obsolete and Obsolete Formats. Pete Obsolete's the kind of personal stuff, or my general Instagram. Obsolete Formats is the kind of work a lot more, commissions and customization and stuff. And on YouTube, you can find all the Paint with Pete's, all the videos that I've ever done, wrapped with, designed, art directed, on Obsolete Formats on YouTube, and Snob_Ross on Twitter. Please give us a shout out. Shouts to the Have a Word boys. Shouts to Mr. Dan Nightingale, Mr. Adam Rowe. Please follow them. They are hilarious, and quite honestly, they've been keeping me sane. Their sessions are 2 hours, 3 hours long sometimes. I tend to break it up into hours, so I just watch an hour of it every day, and it's just really nice. It will keep you company and it will make you giggle as well, amongst other things. It will make you giggle. Shouts to the Have a Word podcast. Also check out Sounds Like as well. Some absolute Manchester royalty in there from the hip hop market, like Blizzard and Shotty Horror. A lot of the Don't Flop boys as well, but shouts to Shuffle T. If you're into your rhyme, or you're into your quizzing, or you just want some hilarious entertainment, Have a Word podcast and Sounds Like on YouTube. There we are. Okay, one more minute. I'm going to start on my Jackdaw McGraw. So I want to keep this one because I think this is a really good face for Jack. He's going to be called Jack as a shorthand, so let's just keep him there. Okay. So I'm going to start with the head and the body, and again I'm going to draw it in black and white. They're fairly black and white anyway, but I just want to make sure that we've got a solid, nice sort of cartoony based line drawing of Jackdaw McGraw for the next or for the project. I'm going to move everything over a sec, actually, just so everyone can see it. And I'm a little bit more comfortable. If you do need to move your studio around, and when I say studio, I do mean the kitchen. You know, if you've got a study or a dining room, any sort of table can be a studio. So as long as you're in the mindset of being in the studio, a studio, it doesn't really matter where you are. You know, the studio is the world. I am tempted to, obviously I'm going to keep Paint with Pete going. I'm thinking of doing stuff outside, obviously in summer, once, you know, hopefully COVID and everything's kind of calmed down a lot more. So there's a few plans. Anyway, let's keep drawing. So let's get our head in. Smaller than that. Always wise having rubber. I can't find mine. There it is. Again, it is going to be pencil lines for a bit. I'll show you the stages, but I just want to make sure that I'm getting it as accurate as I can. I'm not going to fill the whole page because I want some space to play with. So you can see my hand moving, but you might not be able to see the line. Apologies, give me a second. I will do that in a sec. I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, of course, there's a wing here. So I want him turning away a little bit, like he's looking, like investigating. 2 seconds. So his next turn. Right, so it does come down. I'm talking to myself, I do apologise. I'm talking to the piece as well, always helps. So again, let's get that beak in. Little crowy beak, crowy bags. A bit higher than that on his head. Narrow there. He still seems to be looking up instead of flat, so let's just check that. Again, I'm still doodle lines with my pencil. A really good little experiment is if you can follow my pencil line with a pen, you'll see what happens. That angle's incredible. Right, okay. Again, using both of the illustrations that we've got, so his jaw actually comes down a bit there, not as curved. Okay. Again, pencil, you can see me rubbing stuff out, that's what they're there for. I'm going to go longer like this. Okay, cool. Rough shapes. This rectangle coming in. So again, line to my brain. Comes all the way down. So again, you know, he can be in a jacket, he can be in a jumper. Let's give him something to. Yeah, more bars, amazing. Ethan comes back with, so we come from eat seeds off the floor and always wants more. He will knock at the door. Your best hope is not Jackdaw McGraw. Amazing work. Okay. Anyone else want to rap with us? Please do. Please join in. More than welcome, everybody. I'm going to have to think of a freestyle to come back on. simple. Alright, let me think. Very graduating beak here. It's a lot straighter than that. It's neck comes down. I'm going to do him in brogues, I think, or maybe even some Chelsea boots because he lives in London. There we go. So he's got his little boots on, we'll develop them. Taking a bit more time than our usual doodle day. It's fine though. Not happy with these. There you go. A bit softer, just a little bit of a softer head, a thicker neck. There we are. Alright. A little bit slimmer than our usual. That's okay, we've still got to add a wing in. So wing comes down and then breaks into the other set of feathers. Okay. So obviously we want to make him a little bit human, or like a little bit more of a character, so I'm going to give his other arm some fingers that will look a little bit like feathers, and same on here. So he's investigating his cousin and trying to find his cousin, the diamond thief, Feathers McGraw. Okay. He's got his kind of eye makeup. We're going to call it eyeliner. And then he's got a kind of cheek here. Yeah. So again, a little bit longer on the doodles just because of accuracy. Okay, so he's got his Chelsea boots on. Draw them a bit better. Okay, he lives in a top hat, so I don't think he needs a top hat. However, if anyone else has got any suggestions on what he can wear, I might put him in a. He's a vigilante, isn't he? So I kind of want him in a bit of a business suit as a kind of nod to Reservoir Dogs. So we do that. Should we see what he looks like with a shirt and tie on? And then the tail needs to be a little bit longer because it reaches the floor, doesn't it? There we go. Okay, so we have our rough sketch line, alright? You probably can't see that. I've basically thinned them out a little bit, so I've done our main line. You see a bit more detail in the face as well, so we can do that. He's also got his kind of arm slash wing, and he's obviously looking for feathers. There we are. So he's got his Chelsea boots on. I want something to do with his eyes, alright? So I'm thinking, yeah, like a balaclava. Let's try and draw him in a bandit mask. Or like at least with like a kind of, you know, like a woolly beanie on, or like an army hat, an army beanie. So he's got a kind of beanie on. And I want to, let's give him a pocket watch or something. Okay, and he's got like a sly little smile going on. Longer feather. Longer wings, I mean. Okay, so we've got our rough lines on there. I'm going to start drawing him now, so let's see how that goes. This might not be the final one, but again, hopefully it will be. We'll see what it's like when we've drawn him up. I'm going to use my thick and my thin pens. So we've got a thick Posca and a thin Posca right here on the floor now. But we're going to add detail to him now, right? So you can see him develop. There we are. Okay. I'm going to start with my thin so we can add thick if we needed to. I think the main thing is his eye. Okay. Okay. Still got a bit of a pigeon look to him. We need to add a lot more black to give him the depth and all that sort of stuff as well. That's fine. Again, we're just going in on our narrow pen, on our thinner black. See how these fall down? Yep, cool. Excuse the squeaking. It's kind of leather boots, Chelsea boots. Just so we've got the foreground and background of the leg. And then we've got his other arm. Okay, we've also got a dark round there, yeah. So again, all I'm going to do is fill in a little bit of the black, go around it in slightly thicker, just to see what happens there. So around his eyes. And we need some wing detail and some hair detail. Also, all this is going in. Okay, so they come here. Okay, so we're just working on Jack, just seeing if we can add any more bits to him before we finish the session. Okay, yeah, so he's a modern guy. He's hunting feathers. His cousin. Okay. Just get this guy. Last couple of lines in here, everybody. Just going around him. Okay, let's just write his name. And there we have, ladies and gents, with just over 5 minutes to go. Mr. Jackdaw McGraw. Okay. So again, not my best drawing, I admit. This may take a little bit of time to develop and kind of grow into an actual final piece. That's absolutely fine. We have the kind of basic shapes, basic details, ideas. Okay, I'm going to do 2 minutes of drawing different hats so we can sort of guess and see what they're going to look like on him. I wouldn't mind drawing him in a 5-panel like this one. Let's have a look. So we've got a beanie, so let's pretend he's wearing it. or a cap. Let's he could have a top hat. I know he lives in a top hat, so why not? There's a top hat, beanie, cap, top hat. Let's try and do a baker boy, like a Peaky Blinders hat. So they're like narrow. Kind of like a newsboy hat or a paperboy hat. What else have we got? Beret. Oh, I might even do it in a beret. Okay, so how does that work? What else have we got? Good morning, Mrs. Seymour. Hello. What else have we got? Think of another hat. Someone give me a hat dead quick. I'm trying to think of a hat. A crown. We'll draw a crown. Why not? Okay. Okay. I might even go into hats next Monday for our doodle session on Monday. But I've just drawn a selection. Beanie is not very good, but a selection of different hats that we can then, you know, imagine. And in theory, we could cut them out as well. So if you want to see what they look like, so we do want to. No, I don't want to cut it out. So today's lesson was a little bit different. So we were drawing a bird today. We started out with our heart camo. Really good warm up, honestly, really good doodle warm up, this guy. So we got ourselves nice and warm. I chose my subject, which was a jackdaw. So again, I'm working with a group called the Wingers. Shout out to everyone involved. And they're putting up custom bird boxes in and around Shoreham. Please have a look online for them. We can choose a bird, create a backstory and design where they live. I've decided to choose Mr. Jackdaw. Shouts to Mr. Barton. So I've done Jackdaw, but I've made him a relation of Feathers. So everyone knows, or if you don't know, get to know Feathers McGraw. You know, King, Crown Prince of Penguin Crime. I can't say my R's over. So I've chosen to do a relation of Feathers McGraw. He's a thief. Jackdaw is a vigilante, so he's hunting his cousin. He lives in Regent's Park, just opposite Baker Street, opposite Sherlock Holmes, and he's always on trying to find his cousin Feathers for all the crimes he has been committing. We decided to create a Jackdaw. I wanted to make him a little bit cartoony. I think it's still a little bit too bird-like, a little bit too real, personally, even though he is wearing an obsolete jumper. It looks like a cardigan and some Chelsea boots. But yeah, I'm going to work on this, so my bird will be designed very soon. We also decided to add some hats, so we did a beanie, a cap, a top hat, a baker boy, a beret and a crown, just for fun, and we can imagine them on his head if we wanted to. There we are, ladies and gents. I'll leave Jackdaw McGraw up there. Thank you so much for tuning in to Monday's Paint with Pete. I will say this one more time. If anyone is looking to get any of the one-off hand-drawn gold leaf obsolete Valentine's Day cards, please check out my website. It is houseobsolete.bigcartel.com. Very enunciated there. Perfect. Please check out all my social medias, or the social media outlets for links to it. Again, if you want anything adding, to the cards, please put it in the little detail bit, like add details at the checkout, and we can get you a customized card for you and your partner. Absolutely amazing. Thank you very much. Again, it's 11 o'clock. We have just finished. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 10 to 11 o'clock in the Paint with Pete studio for some more lettering. I need some descriptive words for our new font that we're going to be designing together. So please give me a shout if you get any inspiration today. Bottle it, save it for tomorrow morning, and I will see you back here on Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. Stay safe, stay creative. Peace and love.